A state like Missouri is known for its bounty of both woods and water. Between St. Louis and Kansas City, you can find almost 52,000 miles of primetime river. But out of all these, only one has been designated as a wild and scenic river. For you fly anglers, I suggest you start planning a trip south as soon as possible, because this special place has some of the best trout and smallmouth fishing in the entire state and arguably the entire Ozarks. Folks, I would like to introduce you to the 11 Point. On this chilly late fall morning, I was being chased by the sunrise as I hiked upstream. I found some decent access at the Greer campground in hopes of making my way to the Greer Spring branch. The Greer Spring itself is the second largest freshwater spring in Missouri, and so where it dumps into the 11 Point marks the beginning of the blue ribbon trout regulations. So before you decide to come and fish here, make sure to go over those and make sure you're following the rules, of course. But I figured this would be the best place to start my hunt for some 11 Point trout. But I think it should be important to note that this is just where I decided to start. There is so much river to explore. I think 20 plus miles downstream of where I was is still considered primetime trout water. I mean, you could be hanging around Turner Mill and still run into a trout or two. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of space down here, but as we made our way to our first hole, cold hands anxiously got those rods set up in hopes of getting on our first fish of the day.
That's something, baby.
Come on, you. Come on, you. Don't play that. Ah.
Come on.
Extendo with the net. Yeah, let's go. First 11 Point fish.
Well, it took a little fiddling with the rig, but we got it dialed like 2 casts later. I mean, that is fantastic. This is my first ever 11 Point wild rainbow trout. I mean, guys, this is big. This is so cool. Now, what do you think of that? That is a fantastic fish. Oh, let's go. All right, we've harassed this guy enough.
Let's see him back. Oh, see you, sir. Thank you.
So for those of you who aren't aware of Missouri and its wild trout waters, there's like a handful of wild trout streams here in the state of Missouri. They're known as blue ribbons, or the blue ribbon circuit as I like to call it. But this is one that I have never been to. It's in the southeast corner of Missouri, so I've never made it down here much when it's like a 3-hour drive from St. Louis, you know, to fish water I don't know, or a 2-hour drive to Rolla, just a little ways west. I usually go to Rolla. So this is rewarding, this is fantastic. It's always a gamble to see if there's gonna be fish here. But that sun is just starting to get up, and that's numero uno. We at least got the skunk off, so that's all I care about. But yeah, let's hop back in there and see if we can't get some more. Oh, no kidding! Come on! Hey! That was literally next cast. Come here, spunky boy. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Well, there is a clear seam right where this big riffle section comes in, and I'm just putting it right on the corner, And God, that's right where they are, man. Now that is some 8-ball corner pocket action right there. I will have to take that back from you. Well, fantastic. Another one. Let's go, man. That's sick. Oh, I was told what it said there. Good God. Now this one looks like a stocked fish. I mean, everything about it looks wild, but his little nose there looks a little goofy, and his top fin there doesn't look like a wild fish. So I don't know, maybe they're stocking this? I'm not quite sure. But it's managed as a blue ribbon trout fishery. So they're at least acting like wild fish. So cool, man. Well, thank you, sir. And he's gone. Well, they say that third time's the charm, so I think it's time to talk about our rig here. Now, as far as wild trout fisheries go in Missouri, the 11 point is by far the biggest, and we need a bigger setup. So today I've got 2 5-weights with me. This is my nymphing setup. And on the nymphing setup, pretty standard, we've got just a little mayfly guy, and then that fish actually came off this olive leech. And then we've got that way down deep, deeper than what I would go any other time, like in the smaller circuits. We've got a real deep New Zealand strike indicator. And there's just this nice seam right where the foam meets the current, and that's my target where I'm placing it and just watching it slide by and getting them. So they're stack-a-lacked, and I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Ooh, that feels like a nicer fish. Okay, now I'm really confused because he's got the orange tips, he's got the beautiful fins, but he still looks like kind of like a stalker boy. This is strange. What is going on with these fish? Are they just getting beat up on? Because I mean, yeah, his fins are super clean. It's just that dorsal. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why it matters. That's a beautiful fish. See you, sir. And he off. Bye-bye. This is going great so far, man. This is awesome. Incredible. We literally just walked up like 2 steps, and there we go. There's a fish.
Oh, on the freaking leech. Hell yeah. Oh, extendo net, boy. Let's go.
You folks at home don't realize how cool this is. The 11 point for me and my family has been like this kind of a Narnia. It's always that other spot that, oh, I hear there's big fish. Oh, I hear there's lots of fish. One of those. So being the vanguard, being the crusader down south, is pretty cool. Being able to get on these fish is awesome. And this is a nice fish too, golly. A leech-eating son of a gun. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, that is some 11 point chrome. Got that fat old belly on him, man, that's a nice fish. That's a really nice fish. Well, time to see him back. Bye, mister. Now that's about as basic gets. A very simple leech on that 60-degree hook bend, so it's still got a little right up action, but I mean, come on, that's textbook. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad we got that fish. That was sick. Alrighty, the nymph bite has certainly slowed down, so I think it's time for plan B, or plan S for swing. We're gonna swing up this run. It's a pretty effective way to cover big water, and that's exactly what this is. A lot of the blue ribbon streams here in Missouri are that. They are creeks and or streams. They don't get big. This is a flipping river. This is big water, so this is a good way to cover water and hopefully find those more active fish. So let's get after that.
Now, swinging streamers is by far one of the most satisfying ways to fly fish, in my opinion. I absolutely love the feeling of the current pulling the line and flies across the entire river. But I gotta say, standing knee deep in the water, mixed with the biting wind, I was a few casts away from being a popsicle. It was so cold. So in a desperate attempt to gain feeling back in my lower half, I decided to hike downstream and maybe try a few new runs.
Oh, I tell you what, folks, the Midwest wind is biting. Seems like our Indian summer that we were enjoying has come to an end. But I digress, I'm just gonna be cold and miserable. Right now, I'm looking at a hole and I can see that there are active fish in there. I can, yeah, stand over them and be like, okay, wow, look at those fish. So I've kind of changed up my rig a little bit. They're being finicky and didn't really like what I had on earlier. So hoping this little change makes the difference. So fingers crossed. There we go, yes. Yes, that's a great fish. Yeah, let's go. Well, there we go. Another just gorgeous 11-point bow. God, we got one, missed him, and then I thought we were done in that hole, but he came up and obliged. So thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Let's let him back.
You good, brother man? Oh, you're good. You're great. You got it. Nice.
This is already going way better than I could have expected. This is awesome. We're in big water business today. That's another one. Kind of a stumpy looking boy there. He's probably stocked. Ooh. Let's get this guy back swimming. All right, well, I'm glad we could have gotten some out of there. I think it's time to move downstream a ways and yeah, keep hole hopping. This is fun. If the wind would die down, this would be a fantastic day. It's the reason.
Yeah, buddy, that's a great fish. Come here, bud. Come on, come on, come on. Don't do that to me. Ah! This is a good fish. Damn. Yo, look at you. Let's go. 11-point monster, baby. Ah, dude, that's so sick. Let's flip and go. That's a tanker.
This right here, this is an 11-point brute. Look at that freaking fish. That is such a nice fish. Wow. I mean, are you seeing the dims on that boy? Oh, that was sick and such an epic fight. I mean, we freaking, just Hail Mary that sucker up there. Holy cow. All right, let's try and get one more look at this big old bow before we let him swim. I don't know if it's stocked or if it's wild, but regardless, that is a freaking nice fish. That for Missouri rainbows, the standards, I mean, that's all around just, oh my gosh. Oh, all right, let's let him back.
See ya. Like it's nothing.
And that is one dimey dime back to the drink. And for my Missouri folk out there, you know what I'm talking about. But for a lot of you other folk who, you know, have never fished Missouri, this water, it carries a certain tint to it. This emerald deep blue, I mean, it's beautiful. And as you can see, this is one massive run. But what that coloration does is it kind of, it makes it difficult to gauge the depth. So you can't really tell how deep it is. It could be 2 feet, it could be 8 feet. And it's worth noting that that fish was caught at just about 8-foot depth. So there's my indicator and there is my bottom fly. This is a 9-foot 5-weight, folks. He was sitting so flippin' deep. So it's just good to keep in mind that you want to be fishing to the same depth as the fish. So keep moving that indicator down until you start nicking bottom. That's when you know around that depth is where the fish are going to be sitting. So enough stupid rambling. Let's get back in there and see if he has any more friends.
Well, that was slow. Yoo-hoo!
Ah! Well, I tried to get you a look at him and he flopped. See ya, buddy. Nice. Yes! We're still catching fish, but it's still so cold. Oh, my Lanta. Well, I guess we can keep trying and see if there's more fish up there.
And there were, in fact, more fish in this run. We nymphed up 2 excellent bows to kind of finish this section out. And as things started to quiet down in this run, I committed the cardinal sin of any angler. You guys already know, I left fish to find fish. And let me tell you folks, this never works out, but I do it every time. It's that sense of adventure, that what's around the next bend, that's always pulling me away and making me commit dumb decisions. However, the only thing that we did find were long, fishless sections that ended up being more of a hike than any sort of fishing experience. And all the rumors that I heard about the 11 point were kind of, let's just say, validated with this, because everything that I've heard is that with this being such a big river, it is best fished from either a canoe or a boat. So you park at one access spot and park at another, and you take your watercraft, whatever that might be, and you hole hop, because there are so many long, fishless sections that aren't going to yield you a whole lot, especially if you're wade fishing. So as that winter sun was starting to crest those Ozark hills, I knew my time was up, and I couldn't make any more dumb decisions. So begrudgingly, I had to make my way back to the truck.
I consider myself lucky that I found this forest road, because yeah, I am kind of understanding why they say to fish the 11 point from a boat. The section we were just on is wide and it is deep. Holy cow. So it's a good thing we found this so we can kind of get on our way, get back home, take our earnings and run, because boy, we did pretty well today. This was this is pretty sweet. Well, would you look at this? You have made it to the end of the video. All I gotta say, as always, is thank you so much. The more you guys like and comment and share this kind of content, the algorithm works in its mysterious ways and this channel seems to grow. And it's so wild to see how quickly it's growing, and I have you guys to thank for that. So yeah, again, thank you so much. And if you can't get enough, well, consider subscribing. But if you're looking for more, we got fly all season across all the platforms. Instagram, Discord, Patreon, you know the deal. They're all linked down below. Go check them out. And something brand spickety new, hot off the press, is the Fly All Season website. So tippity type on that keyboard, flyallseason.com, and you'll see my ugly mug pop up. This is a great place for community as well as maybe information. That's what I want it to be, at least. So I've got my angler guides from pretty much everywhere I've fished ever, and on top of that, some more technical things. So go give it a look. It's a great way to, yeah, get involved in this community as well as learn a thing or two about a thing or two. Not claiming that I do, I don't know. But regardless, folks, wherever you find yourself, be it in the backwoods of the Ozark Mountains or in your backyard, make sure to keep those feet in the water. And until next time, tight lines.